You may be wondering why a 270-pound man searched for 24 hours for the closest place to buy Dippin' Dots without having to pay for admission to a baseball stadium. Today, we're going to have a showdown between the two licenses of Dippin' Dots, Axe Sledge and the brand previously known as Sparta. I have not been compensated in any way for this video. I purchased all of these items of my own money because I was curious, because I wanted to see how the old company of Sparta stacks up to the new brand with the new licenses of Axe Sledge. And today we're going to sit down and we're going to compare Farm Fed to Spartan Way and the banana split Dippin' Dots collabs. There's a lot of controversy over this, right? There's a lot of different reasons why people feel this is controversial. A few of these reasons are that, well, Sparta had the license first, and now Axe Sledge has it. Some people would call that sloppy seconds. I don't care personally. There's a lot of different reasons why some people think that, you know, these licenses are worth less, not worthless, worth less after a brand like Sparta came out with it. I'm happy that Axe Sledge is doing something cool with their stuff, right? But some other reasons that these are controversial is the growing saturation of licenses in the market. I've heard the word saturation. I prefer the phrase watered down. Others are making Oprah jokes. You get a license, you get a license, you get a license. But the authenticity of these is really what is questioned at this point, right? And so today's going to serve as a bit of a showdown, but also a commentary. As I'm setting these up, I want to talk a little bit about authenticity of licenses in this industry. And they're not all flavor licenses because we're starting to move into licenses that maybe aren't all just flavors, right? But the initial important thing to talk about here is the authenticity of the flavor, of the experience, right? As well as the authenticity of the collaboration. I'm a big fan of Ghost and what they do, and I would consider them to be the most authentic collabs. They go far above and beyond to link the brand to their brand, right? A lot of nostalgia goes into Ghost's marketing, and it makes absolute sense why they go with, you know, kids candies and stuff like that. Although I'm sure you could now say it's not a kid's candy because we have grown-ass adults drinking it before deadlifting 700 pounds or after. There's a lot to talk about here. Some people believe that licenses are not important because they're just going to end up flavoring the protein anyway. And I think that's a pretty fair point to make because a lot of licenses in this market are not real collaborations. They just sell the license to the company and let them flavor it, and if it's close, they send it. I have no clue how the processes took for Dippin' Dots. I have no idea. I've never had the Sparta one that was out for years. I didn't really particularly care for Sparta as a company, and this is going to be coming out this Friday. I just happened to purchase it early on GNC's site. So I have no idea about this. I no longer have any sort of content relationship with Axe Sledge. They're not paying me for this. They didn't ask me to do this. In fact, I think Mike Roten, although his comment seemed nice on my post, probably was being sarcastic. So I'm a lone wolf over here on this one, just offering my opinion as an industry pundit, Doug Miller put so nicely. So, is it my job to judge these people? Kind of. But I'm also not the collaboration police. And at the end of the day, if it's a good product, if it serves the industry well, and it's done well, some people may have some issues with it, but I don't always know if it's a bad thing. Would I like everything to be as authentic as the Ghost Lifestyle collabs? Absolutely, 100%. I like the way they meld their brands together. I like the way they make it all relevant. But at the same time, if you are providing an extraordinary, interesting experience to your consumers, do I care if your mother made you Dippin' Dots every weekend when you were 5? No. I don't really care about the connection all that much if you're giving a great experience to the consumer. Now, that being said, that's why I'm interested in this, specifically this Dippin' Dots one. If you watched my Girl Scout cookies video for GNC, I mentioned that there was absolutely no Girl Scout cookies experience in the protein. It was thin, it was not thick, there were some inclusions, it was nice in some places, but it was not like eating a Girl Scout cookie. And the experience of getting the bottle, the brand, all that stuff, it was just Girl Scout cookies slapped in the bottle. If you enjoy the product, fine. You know, it helps them move product to consumers. It gives them experience and a connection to Girl Scout cookies, Jolly Rancher, whatever, right? I had the same critique for Post Holdings Dimetize with their Fruity Pebbles. It was not a Fruity Pebbles protein. It just tasted like it. There were no occlusions. There was nothing to make you feel like it was actually a cereal. Dippin' Dots is an interesting one because, if you didn't know this, the reason it took me so long to find a Dippin' Dots vending, or it was really a freezer, is because Dippin' Dots is held at such a low temperature. They have to be so cold to stay the shape. Like, as you can see, I bought it at Chuck E. Cheese, which is a hilarious scenario in itself, and drove straight home, and it's already melting. This cannot stay in a normal freezer in a grocery store. So what about these experiences is going to be anywhere near similar to something this cold in this kind of texture, that chalky ball texture, with inclusions. The product itself has inclusions, so why don't these have inclusions, right? It's an interesting topic, and I have not tasted these yet, so we're going to get into it and talk about it. It does stand to say I was not able to get banana split. Unfortunately, I really wanted to get banana split, Dippin' Dots to have the same flavor. When they told me they didn't have it, I still got cookies and cream because I love Dippin' Dots, and I thought the texture might at least help me in some way or remind me how many brain freezes as a child I had when I got these. But that being said, it's not the same flavor. I was disappointed about that, so we're not going to be able to compare banana split to banana split. Today, I really want to talk about, did Axe Sledge do a better job than Sparta with their flavor? That's the one topic. And the other is the authenticity of it. So without further ado, let's jump into this flavor section and start talking about this. So I'm going to have Sparta first because it is the original, right? It's what most people had first. A lot of people are looking to compare the new to the old. I never had the old, so let's try this out. 8 ounces of cold water and 1 scoop of protein. Now this is a much larger scoop. It's a blend of a few different ways. There's also things called milk buds, which from whole milk, maltodextrin, natural milk flavoring. It also has estrogen, as opposed to farm fed, which is going to be an isolate with added dextrose. So we're kind of weighing the differences between a whey blend or a protein blend, because there is casein in there as well, which will make it thicker and better texture, versus a pure isolate but with added dextrose, which can really help with the flavoring. Also, I think there are added MCTs as well. Yes, so only 3 grams of carbs here, no fat, although I guess that's just rounded down. Let's check out the old one first. So there is an inclusion in there, or that's just protein that didn't blend. It's just a poorly blended protein. Lots of banana. I got the split. I appreciate that they're fully disclosed, by the way. So there's a couple different flavors of banana split. You get the chocolate, the strawberry, and the banana, right? That's my understanding. You get a lot of banana. You get a little bit of strawberry, not very much of the chocolate. A little bit. It's tasty. It's pretty good. I understand why people liked it. With these whey blends, you're definitely going to have good texture, and it makes the flavoring easier. Now, the one thing that it was missing was the vanilla. There are the little white beads in there. Supposed to have like a vanilla protein. Not much of that there. A lot of the strawberry, banana, and banana. Strawberry, banana, chocolate, sorry. So now we're switching over to an isolate, which is going to be a thinner experience. You can kind of tell it's not as thick. But that being said, farm fed has always been a favorite of mine. Apple pie, s'mores, the glazed donut, they were all really good. So I'm expecting good flavor here. So while it is a thinner texture to the actual liquid, the flavor is much creamier. I get more of a vanilla to it, but you still get the strawberry and the chocolate, which is quite interesting, honestly. You get a better array of flavors. So this actual liquid was thicker, and it brings a lot more banana. It's almost nauseating how much banana is in there. The farm fed is a lot more fair of a spread in the flavors. Honestly, I like the farm fed a lot more. Just being fair there. I don't know how accurate it is. It's been years since I've had banana split, Dippin' Dots. I prefer the farm fed. Farm fed is one of my favorite proteins, so I do have to say that, of course. On the side of authenticity, neither one of these has any sort of inclusion, and I understand it'd be really hard to put those cold things in there because you're not going to be freezing these bottles. Absolutely. I wish there was some way they could have added the texture of those little balls. I don't know if technology is out there to make anything even remotely similar, but I wish there had been some sort of technology added to add a texture to it. What's the difference between eating Dippin' Dots and eating ice cream? It's the dots, right? The texture. You're chewing on something that seems like you're eating like dry ice or nitrogen or something that is ridiculously cold. The texture is fun. It's chalky. It's fun to eat. These flavors are awesome. Absolutely. But what's the difference between these flavors as banana split Dippin' Dots and these flavors as banana split Turkey Hill ice cream? There really is no difference. It's just a flavor. So for me, yes, the flavor is awesome. It's going to sell well. People are going to love this. I think Axe Sledge is a very engaged community that will absolutely enjoy the product. It tastes great. I think that people are going to love it. On the side of licenses, on the side of how this industry is treating licenses, I do think that this is starting to get to the point where we are not making these licenses as important as they should be, or not as treated as authentically as they should be. Same thing as the Diametize cereal proteins. Sure, it's a similar flavor in a liquid form, but what's the connection between this and the brand? What I will say is that while Sparta did have a more texture label, which was fun and stuff, I enjoyed them including the Frozetti. I have no clue what that is. I didn't know that there's a mascot for them. I've enjoyed their, dairy ice cream truck branding that they're doing with Seth. I think they're doing a good job of bringing it in. What does Dippin' Dots have to do with the hardest workers in the room? I have no clue. What does it have to do with blue collar workers? Well, you can buy it at movies and Chuck E. Cheese and baseball stadiums, which is probably popular venues for blue collar workers and in that budget. I feel like it's kind of mean to say that about that blue collar workers. I really don't think that's like the avenue I would go if I had to explain it. I don't know how it attaches to the brand, honestly, but if it's enjoyable for the consumer, if their consumers are going to like this, we've already seen the excitement. As soon as we were posting it, we had a lot of excitement from people who like the demo crew and Seth and Axe Sledge. Seems like a net positive for that. However you feel about it, I'd love to see you comment below. There's been a lot of different comments on it, and I'm sure this will not be the last time I'll be talking about this. I'm trying to take a little bit more of a neutral stance on some parts here. I do think that the flavors are going to fare well for the brands. I think they're going to sell well. I think that they're going to be enjoyed. But is the experience authentic to the license? Not really. In any case, Axe Sledge definitely won this one. Their flavor is much better. I enjoyed it a lot more. The expense is that you're getting dextrose in here, so you're getting 2 more grams of carbs than you are at Sparta. It's how they make their products. All their farm-fed isolates have added dextrose. It's what makes it taste so great. In any case, I was not funded for this video at all. I purchased these out of my own pocket. This one came from Amazon. This one came from GNC. So GNC, thank you for once again leaking a product too early. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment below. I'd love to know what you think about these. Are you enjoying licenses because they bring a brand that you used to really enjoy? Or do you feel like some of these licenses are getting watered down because it's no longer about an authentic collaboration and more about putting a label on a bottle and having a similar flavor, not even experience? I'm excited for more of these to come out. I'm excited for brands to double down on these and hopefully do a job of really making an authentic experience between the brand and their brand. I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of hate in this video, so whatever I say now isn't really gonna fix that. In any case, I really appreciate making this far in the video, and as always, guys, have a great day.
Welcome to PricePlow.